You ain't got nothing on me, Jeff. I got you this time. I got you this time with all my abilities. Bring it on. Bring it. Yes! 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 What is this slow cannon? That's not me. I ain't doing that. This is never good in any horror movie. Oh. Well. Welcome to Press Start, your weekly adrenaline shot of video games, all the news, and some games you may have never seen. It's a holiday week, so we're gonna have some fun here. We have got a ton of news to talk about, new games that are playing, and even a new segment of going back and playing a whole bunch of games. Let's jump into the news of the week and find out what's buzzworthy. Topping it off this week, for those of you that love Disney Dreamlight Valley, they have been doing a season of giving, and the season of giving has been given all different things that are free in-game. New costumes, new furniture, new everything, and they're all free. So I've put the gift codes down below. They are valid until February 5th, 2024, so you got a couple months for them. But I've already got a ton of these things in game, and they're nice. You got snowballs, you've got outside snowmen. They're good things to put into the valley, and if you love to pretty things up, I suggest take a look at them. They'll be in the description below. Put them into the game, and happy holidays. As always, the tradition every single year, all your favorite games have some sort of a holiday update. Your Steam update list just goes down and down and down and down over the last couple days because they are constantly putting out holiday updates for games. So I picked out a couple of games that I've played. I actually really like the holiday update. So in no particular order, let's rapid fire through them so I can tell you a little bit about them. Death Must Die. You've seen a lot of Survivors type games that I've had on here. Well, here's another one. Here's one that mixes Diablo as well as crazy abilities from all different gods. Well, they have a holiday update. They give you a tree. They have some form of Santa Claus Thor, and you get a whole bunch of different gifts from them, and you can put on hats, and they give you new abilities. A lot of fun. I recommend checking it out. Maybe we'll do this one on the channel someday. You can't not mention Diablo IV. They've got the Midwinter Blight. This is going to give you all different types of abilities for your horses, new weapons that actually look like candy canes, and different types of festive arrows and bows. Crazy stuff. They even have a Krampus. They got a Krampus. This event's going to be running through the new year, so I recommend if you like Diablo IV, jump in there and check it out. One of my favorite deep zombie games, Project Zombiod. It's an immersive survival isometric game that's also multiplayer. Very deep, lots of systems within it, and they just added a holiday update that you got everything from hats to Christmas trees. They made it really cool, worth upgrading your base, worth putting things in. Check it out. Forever Skies will eventually be shown on this channel. I got very much addicted to this game. Couldn't put it down for the entire weekend that it came out. This is a survival crafting game, just like the rest, but you're in a blimp. You're building an air blimp that goes all over the place. You go from place to place. You have to stay low to stay away from some of the weather effects. You've got to sometimes come up because the entire planet has been destroyed by a virus. Their locations have been updated to add Christmas trees, Christmas lights, snow. They even added things that you could put inside your airship. Again, folks, this one is a great one. Do not miss out. It will eventually have co-op, which is probably when I'm going to put that on this channel. So take a look. Forever Skies. Automation is king. You're going to see that a little bit later too. Desynced came out with your little robots getting little hats, little presents that move around within it. It is a super small update, but that's a nice little touch to it, especially when you're building your base and you're building all the different automation. Your little robots are moving everywhere. So this is a good one. I appreciated this update, especially because I'm playing this one in the background. Might eventually feature this as well, but check it out, Desynced. Last but not least, Mafia, baby. Duality. Duality is a incremental management sim that has some roguelike elements to it. but they just added an entire holiday update to it. So you have Santa Don, right? Santa Don, and you've got a Christmas tree business on the top floor, and you got your mafia on the bottom floor. Nice little touch. And even when you get into fights, instead of bullets, they throw snowballs. You can't beat that. This is a good one. Very simple game, but surprisingly complex. Check it out, done Duality. Last little bit of news for this week. There's a game that's going to be coming out next year called Gray Zone Warfare. This is another type of extraction shooter, so it's PvPvE in a military setting, but it had a difference that came out. They put out some gameplay this week. I'm going to put the trailer down below. It came out with some gameplay updates, and very specifically, they talked about how the quests are going to work. One of the things that I love in games is emergent gameplay. What that means is that anytime you play, you have no idea what happens. Very similar to procedurally generated, but because the AI of the different types of NPCs or enemies you attack is programmed in a way to just read the situation and do something with it, every time you play, something different happens. Well, they came out and said, hey, our quests are no longer fetch quests. They are going to be gameplay quests that tell you to go to an area, and sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. That piqued my interest. That is something that I think I haven't seen in a game before that said, let's change it up, let's do something different with it. And in specific, this is going to be an extraction shooter that points you in a direction to go do different types of quests, and you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes it could be a firefight, sometimes it could be with other players, sometimes it could be something completely random. Over 150 quests they said they're going to have at launch. That's going to be pretty cool. So this is one to check out and keep your eye on. Gray Zone Warfare coming out in 2024. All right, now that we're through the news, it's time to talk about the games I've been playing this week in the gauntlet. Let's jump on in. I could not get this DLC for Vampire Survivors. So I mentioned it before in a couple of other videos. Vampire Survivors was one of the first survivor-like games that have come out that's horde bullet hell that you need to stay away from all the different types of enemies and all the different types of shots that are going for as long as you can, up to about 30 minutes, usually in most of the maps. And all you do is move. You move, pick up things, and you level up your weapons and things get crazy. The combos and weapons evolve, you become overpowered, and just so much happens on the screen that sometimes you can't even see what you're doing, but it's so much fun. Well, there, DLC with Among Us came out, the crossover. I had to jump on in, I had to check it out, and boy, I was not disappointed. So this new map that you've got, the new map is set on an Among Us base. You are working through the Among Us base, you are trying to pick up all the different abilities and things throughout the map, but what is unique about it is that what passives you pick up on this map are actually all the Among Us characters. You have to go around the map, pick up each of the Among Us characters, and each one of them gives you an extra little weapon. So it's not only a passive, it's also a weapon. And you can go above and beyond the normal 6 passives that you can get in this game. It actually goes above them for it. Now, note, you have to make sure that you don't accidentally get them all first. It will lock your 6 passives. But if you already have your passives, you're already leveling up, and you get them on top of it, they become a whole nother row that comes with it. Each one of these guys actually merges with a weapon to make the weapons better within the game. Totally crazy. Also, in addition, in these maps, you will have the same things that happen in Among Us. You're going to have the imposter causing some chaos, and when you have to go and get each one of these chaos spots, they send you to a different point in the map. If you can get to it in time, you actually get a chest, and the chest is the best chest. You get 5 different upgrades with them. Amazing. Perfect chest if you can get to them. If you don't, you get chaos. And by chaos, you also get things such as explosions that happen. It's pretty nuts. Now, what I really liked about this DLC is that it came with new characters. This is any DLC does, but these characters are meant for co-op. Their abilities are meant to help other players as you're doing co-op. Or you get ones like Ghost. I don't understand Ghost still. Ghost cannot be hurt at all. There's an achievement you can get by trying to hurt something and figuring it out with different powers. But Ghost must be kids mode. It's the only thing I can guess. So that's one thing you could potentially get. Ghost does no damage. In addition to Ghost, you got Horse. Horse is just cool. He gets party hats, folks. Party hats is fun. So this was the DLC. You had a lot of stuff that came with it. tons of fun. I recommend checking this out. It's still super cheap, folks. If you want a fun time, go ahead and check out Vampire Survivors and the Among Us DLC. There was a unique game that came out earlier this year. This game is about creating a base, lots of traps, and putting it up so that other players can try to make it through the base, grab your gene therapy extract. I don't really know. But you get to the end, you pick it up, new traps come out, then you gotta get out of the map without dying with it. If you die, you will go all the way back to the beginning unless you use a Phoenix respawn or you have a second player who maybe can make it to you and revive you. These things can get devious. You can imagine what types of environments and different types of forts that people can make that are absolutely insane and sometimes hard to get through. Now, why I'm bringing this up and why I played it is I happened upon a piece of news this week that they came out with a social experiment. This social experiment was a way to get through 10 levels. They don't tell you what the levels are. You go to the very first level, and you have to get to the end to get to a QR code. Now, I'm not going to spoil where they are. I did a couple of them, but I'll give you an idea of where they're at and what you can see. Once you find this QR code, you pull up the QR code, it gives you the next level. I've never seen this done in a game before. This is fun. This gives you an incentive to actually go through level by level by level to go through. So I had to play the game. I had to jump back in. It's been a while since I played it. It has a couple of updates. I think they're on Season 3, and they've got new apocalypse-looking maps that you go into. They've had frozen maps. They've had swamp-type maps. So they got a lot of different environments in it. I believe it's on Game Pass. I believe it's free. If folks want to check it out, I would highly recommend it. And I would say try the social experiment. I thought that was a neat idea, a neat touch. That's Meet Your Maker. Again, you can find it on all different platforms. Sometimes you just want to play a game and you want crazy things to happen with as minimal effort as possible. And you like the idea of what's called incremental upgrade. You do some things, things happen, they upgrade. If you've heard of the game Cookie Clicker, well, I found a game very similar to that called Gnorp, the Gnorp Apolog. When I read it, I thought it said Apogee. Makes me old, go with it. But I thought it said Apogee. Your goal is to beat the crap out of this rock. I don't know why this rock has pissed off these little guys, but it did. And you just gotta hit it and hit it and hit it. And you collect the rock and you put that in and you use all the different shards that come off of it to upgrade your village, get more Gnorps, get bigger things that can shoot them. Now, as you are shooting the rock, eventually the rock gets too high. The pile gets way too high and then it collapses. When it collapses, the rock sucks it back in, I guess? And now you get even bigger shards that come off the rock that give you more money and incremental upgrades as you're going. This game can get insane. They have everything from rocket launchers to flamethrowers to bombarding jetpacks of Gnorps that hit it in the top. This game can get absolutely nuts. Here's an example of late game. Yep, that's all happening. Can't see what's going on. This is fun. You just let it sit, you let it play, you try to upgrade, go as far as you can. Eventually it gets to a point that you cannot do enough damage to the rock before it's taking back all of its shards. So you can't go to the next tier of what they call compression. You have to hit the prestige button that's in the top. And you're getting talent points. As you're collecting, you're gaining talent points, and each of the talent points is used to upgrade how much damage and types of things you could do the next time you go through it. So they encourage you to get a couple points, prestige out, go a little bit farther. And I can tell you folks, once you get into the higher levels, you have to. I let this thing sit all night long, and I still didn't beat one of the highest tiered rocks on tier 8. So again, crazy game, awesome graphics. Gnorps are cool. They build houses and kick the crap out of a rock. Cheap game on Steam. Go check it out. I highly recommend looking at Gnorp Apolog. When I was looking at my Steam review for 2023, one of the top games that I played a lot of was called PlateUp. What's PlateUp? Well, I found this game about a year or two ago, and I started playing it. And this game is very much like Overcooked if you have a roguelike and you want your friends to cause chaos. So how does this work? When you're in a run in PlateUp, you are actually trying to build a dish. You're making a dish and you have to cook it and create it and give it to each one of the customers that come in. If you mess up and a customer gets pissed and leaves, well, run over. All done. So your goal is to keep them happy, feed them, and let them get out and finish out your entire day. Now, if it was just that, that would be a very simple game. But as you're going along, they make it harder. They give you more meals you have to cook. They give you more different types of passives that happen, such as customers wait longer, or customers take longer in order to eat, which is insane. Or you get more customers that come in. Or like I did, you get customers that come after you close. All restaurants hate that, folks. Don't go in at the end of the day. But this changes up your run every single time, and you're trying to build stuff, and you're trying to get them out. And you're trying to make it through 15 days. To make it through 15 days, you can franchise. You can redo this one over again to make a harder difficulty on a bigger map. And it goes into overtime, and you try to go as long as you can, and the customers get more and more and faster and harder. It's insane. It's a lot of fun. It is a blast in co-op. In co-op, this thing is insanely good and lots of fun to play. But even solo, it's a heck of a challenge. Well, again, I found that I played this game a lot. There's a lot of variability to it, and it's got workshop, it's got mods. You probably see them on the screen as I'm showing screenshots now. I've got 53. They have everything from new dishes to new maps to new types of quality of life upgrades that are not currently in the game at the moment, which are not too bad. They don't break the game, they keep the spirit of it. Tons of value for what you get with this game. I believe it's even on sale during the holidays, so I highly suggest go check this out. PlateUp. It's a blast, folks. Now, while I do play a lot of new games a week, and I mean a lot of new games a week, I also go back and play a lot of the older games because I do try to actually beat games and stick with them and get better at them. So I've made a new segment which is called Be Kind Rewind. Let's check them out again. There was one game that I played a lot this week, and I stayed with, and I've shown you already, the Finals. The Finals put out a Christmas update. You get a crazy hat. You get to look insane. Holy crap, and it's got snow everywhere. It's got candy canes and Christmas trees, and you're destroying them too, and everything else. And you know what, folks? This game is just fun. I recommended it last week. It is one of the best multiplayer games that has come at the end of 2023. You can't get better than this. Look, this is an insane moment that I had. Blew everything up. I mean, that's one way to do it. This one's fun. Grab a couple friends, go in solo, play some tournaments, win all the cash. All right, where we gotta go? Downstairs? No! No! I'm fine! Well, that's about it for this week, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope everyone's having a happy holidays. You know how this goes. Please help support the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. It helps immensely just to make sure that this shows up and everybody's enjoying it and lets me know that you like what's happening. Please put into the comments, Happy Holidays. That's right. That's simple. Nothing crazy this time. You put it in there, I'll respond. I'll know that you guys made it to the end of the video. You want to see me go live and stream? I'm streaming every Thursday night, up on Twitch, up on YouTube. Check them out. But for now, folks, we're going to press pause. Go say hi to Santa Claus. Happy holidays. See you next time.